Hi, my name is Katie Wenger, and I'm a licensed therapist and relationship consultant. And I am here today to talk to you about relationship power struggles, as well as hoping to get a better quality video than the last one. So I've made some tweaks and addressed what I think may have been causing that. And so I'm hoping that this video is more clear for you viewing it. So, with relationship power struggles, we know that they can exist in all types of relationships, in romantic relationships, including marriages and partnerships, in friendships, and in our family relationships with parents, siblings, extended family, our children. So, it is important to look at whether or not a power struggle exists, why it exists, and if and how that can be changed. So, one of the big reasons why I believe they exist is because of insecurities that we have. And those insecurities might be fueled by our judgment of self and our unrealistic expectations of others and of ourselves in relationships. So, I think that is helpful to be aware of. And whether or not you can maintain a healthy relationship with a power struggle, I think that the answer is definitely yes, but it is looking at whether that needs to be or can be changed. Sometimes healthy relationships cannot be maintained where a power struggle exists. And certainly the goal is always to eliminate the power struggle. And if it cannot be eliminated, to diminish it as much as possible so that you can have a healthy relationship, so that you can get your needs met, so the other person can get their needs met, and so that you can enjoy time together and the wonderful things in life. And for those who are in a marriage or a partnership, there can be a lot of decisions that are made on most days about the home, about finances, about children, about future plans. So it is important to be able to make these decisions together and be able to hear each other clearly and not have a power struggle exist that may influence those decisions or what you hear from the other person or your reactions. There are certainly other decisions that have to be made in other types of relationships. With your parents, it may be about another family member or about their health or about your health or maintaining a relationship between your children and their grandparents. With siblings and friends, it can be about scheduling vacations. It can be about staying close despite distances when you move away or different phases of your life. And there are many reasons why all of these relationships that I mentioned have a lot of value and why we should put a lot into them, but also expect to get a lot out. How do we diminish the power struggle? I think it starts with focusing on your own accountability and taking a look at yourself, what you contribute, also what you need out of the relationship, and if there's any positive change that you can make. And certainly clear communication with the other person about changes you may be asking them to make or your reactions to their thoughts, behaviors, decisions. Also, again, highlighting the importance of realistic expectations of yourself and other people that you are in relationships with. I think a lot of times we focus on having this perfect interaction or this perfect relationship, and that really doesn't exist, despite what social media may tell you or our current society and what high standards we're kind of encouraged to live up to. And really, at that base of it all, we're people and we make mistakes, and nothing is perfect. But we certainly do, every person deserves healthy relationships, a happy life, and not to be treated in a way that would be contradictory to either of those. Also, reframing for the positive. I think events or relationships can always be looked at from a positive viewpoint rather than focusing on the negative. Certainly, there will be negative things that will happen or negative things that exist that you have to discuss or address. But I think there are some situations where you can reframe for the positive, and that can be very helpful, especially when trying to maintain relationships long term over many years. And again, sometimes it comes back to making that decision about whether or not this is a healthy relationship for you. And that is a very complicated decision based on a lot of factors. I have had clients who have chosen to end relationships that have been unhealthy for them. I've had clients who have maintained relationships that either became healthy or sometimes were unhealthy, but they found a way to exist within them and also take care of themselves. But I certainly do not want to encourage you to stay in a relationship that you think is unhealthy or takes a negative toll on your life or those around you. That's very important. But again, I know that it is a very difficult decision to make. And so I've also had those clients whose relationships have either been turned around and have become more positive, or where they've decided what their own boundaries are and how to live within that and make other connections in their life that will give them what they need in terms of emotional support, enjoyable time spent together, and many other things we need from the relationships in our life. So, as always, feel free to email me with any questions. Katie Wenger at Comcast.net, KatieWenger at Comcast.net. Or you can check out my website, which is www.katiewengerlcsw.com. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Take care.